Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world or in your day. This is the What You Know About It podcast. It's Ra with my co-host as always, the Panic Hispanic himself, all packed up and ready to go on vacation.
I'm not officially packed up yet, but I'm telling you right now, I have had some nasal issues all day today
Ugh.
because I had to go get tested again today,
Oh,
and they get the test within 72 hours of your flight or whatever.
okay.
So Christy and I went this morning, and she got to do self-administer. So she put the thing up her nose as far as she needed to.
Herself?
Yeah,
How'd she get to do it on her own?
that's how they do it at some places. They just that's how they did it.
I
But
feel
when
like
I went
there's
to
gonna
my
be a
place,
little balance in there for that. Like,
how do you know that they're going that far?
yeah,
You know.
yeah, you didn't tickle your eyeball. Do that again.
That's what I got today. And it hasn't been that gnarly like in the last few times that I've gotten tested.
Mm-hmm.
But today the lady she went for it. She was all up in there. Like my nose has just been off all day today. I
Jesus.
feel like she hit a part of my brain where it just made my brain flinch. And now there's an imbalance in my body, you know?
Oh God.
It needs for me to go in there and retouch another part of my brain.
Oh, she tickled your spot, bro.
I guess. Yeah, you could say that.
Whoa. Well, man, I hope from here on out it's a pleasant scenario with your vacation because
That's what I'm hoping, dude.
starting off a little rough.
That was that was the final hurdle. So
Yeah.
now that we've tested, we're just waiting for the results to come back, which hopefully they're negative. And then in about 72 hours, well, less than 72 hours now, we'll be hopefully on a plane just flying high. I already downloaded my whole season of WandaVision onto my iPad.
Okay, so you were able to do that.
I was able to download all the episodes, so
that's
they
good
are
to
ready
know.
to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I downloaded something else. I can't remember what else I downloaded,
Mm.
just in case. But I have a feeling it's just going to be the WandaVision stuff that I'm going to probably watch throughout the trip.
Man, you're gonna enjoy that.
I'm excited. I'm excited for sure. I started reading through some of the descriptions and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay. This takes a different approach
No,
than I
it's
was
way
expecting.
different. It's so different. And that's what you, at the end of the day, it's what you have to appreciate about it. How
Oh,
different it was.
you know what I finished today?
Mm.
Because I was like, we're going to record today, and I wanted to make sure that I had it done.
Daredevil?
I finished Daredevil finally.
God damn it. About time.
Where's my applause?
No. It took you too long. Took you too long. I
Add it in
should
post.
have. I should have. I know I got to add the sound in later. I should have rewatched it, but and you know what? I can't even judge you because, and I almost don't want to say this out loud because I already know I'm gonna get a phone call, a text, an email, something.
Yeah.
I'm getting caught up with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So
I never even started it.
I'm on season 5, I think, at this point.
That's good for
So
you. That's a hard watch for me. That's
it's a committed watch.
Yeah.
You can't watch that on a day that you can't focus.
yeah.
But to be honest with you, the only reason I'm able to do it is because I don't have my kids all the time.
Yeah.
Because before it was kind of like I had to wait till the kids go to bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then, so we're talking about watching that at 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes. Like by the time the kids go to bed, I do what I need to do before the next morning.
Yeah.
So my downtime, 10, 11, 12, not quite as focused.
But that's my problem with every one of these shows. Daredevil, I couldn't just let that play in the background. I needed to pay attention. There's a lot of things
There's
going
a
on.
lot of things going on in Daredevil. Yeah.
A lot of pieces are getting moved with Dex and what do you call it? Agent Nadim, and you're just kind of like, who knows what? And I don't know. It was just hard to keep everything on track.
So to recap, you met Mom.
Mom, I did meet Mom. You son of a bitch.
Hey, was the Kingpin not great?
Yeah, he was. I was fantastic.
Like, I like how
How they presented him in this version,
yes.
he was human.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, because he had real anger issues, it wasn't that he was a superhero or had super
Yeah,
strength. He could just tap into his anger that much,
and it was gnarly to watch
and he was
because
already a big dude, and
you could see
yeah,
it, like, for real happen. Like, they made every one of these superheroes realistic, or, like, everybody in
as
every
far as you can, yeah.
character
Mhm,
as realistic as you can make it. Like, even with Daredevil, like, you know that he has heightened senses. He
mhm,
just had some dude just master them or help him master them.
yeah,
So, even that for me in my head was kinda realistic a little
yeah.
bit. I'm
They
like,
make
"Okay."
it a little more reasonable to suspend belief
Yeah.
even with things that like, you don't fucking get sonar vision from chemicals, but you're like, "Okay, I'll buy that. That's
Yeah, yeah,
fine."
yeah.
You know?
That was the furthest reach too.
That was the furthest reach. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the whole tie-in with, what do you call it? When they brought in, what's her name? Elektra, like,
Mhm.
the background that they had together and
That was a little
everything.
supernatural, but yeah, yeah.
But they still made it very, like, yeah, I mean, she was a part of a, like, crazy world,
She was in a
and
cult.
yeah, she was the cult, like
She was the cult, yeah,
you,
yeah.
like, you kinda I don't know, I was thoroughly
They
entertained.
made her so much more of a badass than whatever the fuck they did
Mhm.
with Jessica Biel or whoever. What was it? Jessica Biel?
Was she
Was
Elektra? No, no, no.
yeah. No, it wasn't Jessica Biel. That was
Uh, what is it? I wanna say with a J.
one of yeah, it was one of them girls.
Oh, man. Now, of course, it's
No,
gonna
it wasn't
bother
Jessica
me.
Alba.
No.
It was
Electra Film, where Jennifer
s-
Garner.
Garner.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I was thoroughly entertained the entire 3 seasons. You were right, they did kinda end it in, like, a spot where it could be stopped,
Mhm.
but I definitely hope that they pick it up somehow or
They
there's a
won't.
tie-in into the film,
They won't.
just to, like, give us a little bit of I don't know.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead. I
I'm
mean,
okay with
first of
it.
all, they can't.
Yeah,
They legally can't.
because it doesn't belong to them
It
anymore.
doesn't belong to them.
But it does
I mean,
again. It does now.
they have the characters back, but that
Yeah.
property does not belong to them.
Yeah. That's Sony's?
That is Netflix.
Netflix's?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they can't continue that story in any kind of way.
That's a bummer.
So they're gonna possibly bring back the characters,
Yeah.
and none of the stuff that we saw is canon.
Mhm. So we might see just a new version of everything.
Yeah, so they're gonna be new versions, same characters that we love.
I'm okay with it. I'll allow it.
At least you get that. So yeah, so we'll see. I really don't see how they're gonna throw uh um
Kingpin?
no Punisher into that.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that's my next watch. I gotta get started on Punisher now.
Yeah, I mean, what you saw is just a taste.
Yeah.
It's so fucking violent. You're gonna call me. You be like, who is this motherfucker? You just can't do that shit. You just can't.
Everything was so well choreographed in Daredevil. Like,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Even the final fight with, like,
hmm
Daredevil and Kingpin, you're just like, "Damn," like, "Okay."
yeah.
Then Dex comes into it, and
hmm
it gets pretty gnarly. Like, I was
Yep.
very, very, very impressed.
The only part of it that I don't know what issue did I have with it. I think I kind of wish that they did better with Iron Fist because Iron Fist was the thing that lagged
Mhm.
the most. And some women love Jessica Jones. I couldn't follow it,
Okay.
but I noticed like I mean there were guys too, but I noticed that at least for my end, my circle of people that I know, it was mostly women that liked it,
Oh, okay.
and the men were kind of like. Mm.
I don't get it. Bunch
'Cause
of
I
sexist
mean,
pigs.
to this day, no, but to this day, it has nothing to do with her gender.
Uh-huh.
It has more to do with like just how the character is written.
Uh-huh.
And like to this day, like legit, I'm not even being like over the top. What the fuck is her power? Every time I've seen her, and I saw her in the Defenders, they have a little like Avengers style team up kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's called the Defenders. You will not be happy about that. Sigourney Weaver, who's actually on screen right here,
Yeah, yeah.
is the villain. But
You with your Aliens marathon that
hey,
you watched.
hey man, I felt really good about Aliens this week. Um, it's just like the whole time you're like, okay, Iron Fist has a glowy fist. Punisher's a badass, and he can't die. Like, not because he has a power, he just is that tormented he won't die.
Yeah.
Daredevil's like a super soldier in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? With whatever. And Luke Cage has super strength, right? What the fuck does Jessica Jones do?
She's the brains.
Not even that. I mean, she's there. I mean, she's not an idiot, but like, it's just kind of like if
Do
you
something.
you could put character A, like
Wow.
I don't see her significance besides saying, "Hey, she's on the team. It's Jessica." Well,
Jesus, you're really making her sound bad.
I mean, somebody
really
tell me
think-
I'm wrong.
Yeah, she sounds like she's a
They
wasted
did not
character.
establish her. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen 2 or 3 episodes,
Yeah.
and then her features in other people's shit. And I'm like, what the fuck does she do? Like, it's very clear.
Yeah.
Luke Cage, oh, that motherfucker's bulletproof. He can't be shot.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Daredevil is blind, but not, and he's got kung fu, whatever, and he wears a fucking red suit. That black suit was better to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I love that black suit. And then you get Iron Fist, who I hated. He was just that actor was just boring. But even with him, like, okay, he got the glowy fist. He knows a little kung fu, the little thing on his chest.
Yeah.
All right. What is Jessica doing? She got a fucking Michael Knight coat on, leather coat jacket on, and she's just on the team.
She literally does nothing. Like,
you tell me, bro.
I haven't watched it. I don't know.
Have you seen her yet? No, you
No.
just saw Daredevil. Yeah, so she wasn't in Daredevil, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Does she know how to fight? Is she martial arts expert?
I mean, she's in those scenes, but I can't recall.
'Cause that's kind of what Scarlet Witch is. You right? Like, I mean, what do you call it? What's her name? Your girl coming out on your birthday.
Black Widow?
Black Widow.
No,
She's like
bro.
a martial arts expert.
She's a trained killer.
I know. Is Jessica Jones like? Is that something or no?
No, Jessica Jones by trade is like a investigator or something, like a private eye.
Oh, so maybe she's a super detective power.
I don't know. I don't know. My point is
Right.
she's not established.
All right, I'm not excited about watching it.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, staying on topic, you and I have been kind of talking about all these movies and whatnot, but
Well, before we get to that, actually, I wanted to bring something else up. We attended our first pandemic wedding.
Oh yeah, we did.
We never really recapped it. We were both there, but
Yeah.
how did you feel?
I think that's why we didn't recap.
Yeah.
Because we were both there.
I was going to ask you about
Well,
it today.
first and foremost, and we should have started the show with this. We actually really should. So my apologies, but to our friends, Julianne and Garrett, congratulations on your wedding.
Let me crack this new one open. Hold
Crack
on.
that new one open.
Cheers.
Don't show the label.
It's my fingers on it.
God damn it.
It's a moon.
Sponsor us, you sons of bitches.
That's no moon.
That's no moon. That's no moon. Anyway, congratulations on your wedding. We love you guys. I mean, that was as beautiful as it can be,
Mm-hmm.
and had a good time. Cheers.
The actual ceremony itself, like
Mm.
the
What you were gonna
priest he was very good. Like, I was very captivated the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm used to when I was going to church as a kid
Mhm.
being bored as hell.
Mhm.
But he made it very he was dropping jokes.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, that priest, man, he said some controversial shit.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, if you're an ex, and you here today, don't say nothing."
Yeah.
I was like,
You stay in the back.
He almost made me look around, and I was like, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna look around.
It was freaking funny.
But yeah, and then he said something about having sex or something like that. What did he
It's that
say?
Love is present or something.
Something.
In all things, anytime that you're arguing or anything, and he's like, even when you're being sexually intimate,
Mm.
that God is there, that God was there.
Mhm.
And I was like, ooh, like,
Yeah,
okay.
he made it weird. He made it weird, bro. He's like, yo, so God is watching me do my thing.
It's kind of weird. Didn't know he was like that, but who am I to judge? Only he can
No,
judge me.
Yeah, it wasn't what he said. It was how he said it. But
Yeah.
no, he was in all honesty, it was just kind of comedy.
It's just interesting to see like how
mhm,
it all plays out with groomsmen on the front bench,
yeah.
not standing up at the altar or near the altar
I
like
mean,
you normally are used to seeing.
mhm.
Masks everywhere.
I mean,
Um,
they made the best out of their situation and still made it beautiful.
yeah, absolutely.
It was just hard. It was hard for me in spots.
Yeah.
Um, Personally, growing up Catholic and
Hmm.
having not been to a Catholic ceremony in probably 15, 20 years,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, this getting up and sitting down and kneeling and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
what are we doing, right?
Yeah, having flashbacks.
Yeah, and then like going through the rituals and all that, I was like, it was like those people, man. They beat that into my head to like
Yeah,
I still remember the responses.
I did them all in Spanish in my head. Like when they were saying them, all my things
Yeah.
were Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Like everything.
Hey, you was looking fly, bro.
Thank you, sir.
I was like, dang, look at Eggers, it's all suited up, and then when you had to do your little part, you stood up and button your jacket. And I was like, look at this motherfucker. He's just,
The stupid jacket it was big.
oh, you looked
I
good. You look good, bro.
I didn't feel comfortable.
You looked good. I couldn't tell you was uncomfortable in the jacket.
All right, cool. That's all I
Yeah.
cared about.
But
And
yeah, man, I just as happy as I was for them, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, I was hurt at the same time
mhm,
because like when you know first thing we see is our boy Garrett walk down looking fly too. He was looking suited up
with his mom and
with
everything.
his
Yeah.
mom, and I was like, man, all right, I see you,
Yep.
and then right after that, and I don't know why I didn't notice it with him, but like when the bridesmaids came down,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, everyone got a mask on, and
Yeah.
these pictures are being taken,
Mhm.
and then Julianne comes down looking beautiful in her dress, and I'm like, fuck these masks, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are pictures that need to be captured, and like they're like this is a part of their memory. And they're gonna have to look back 15, 20 years from now and they go, you know, we found a way to make our wedding beautiful even with this pandemic. And that's strength. And I think that speaks to their relationship. But at the same time, that's not what I want for my friends.
Of course, we always want the best. We always
Yeah.
want the things that are going to be everlasting. And I don't know. I thought I still think it's actually I kind of think it's a little more memorable with the
Mhm.
masks on. Like luckily throughout the ceremony, they basically were able to do the thing maskless, and the
Sure.
priest even said like these guys they're going to be without masks because
Yeah.
they want photos that they're going to look at forever, and they don't want to have masks in them.
Yeah.
Whenever I go anywhere with Christy now, like when we would go to like downtown Disney and go take a picture in front of Disneyland, I'm like, keep the mask on. Like, let's take a picture with the mask on because this is
Mm.
how we're gonna remember this photo. We're gonna know exactly what year
Where
we
we
took
were,
this.
what we were doing, how we were surviving it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is it's a story. Like that's I don't maybe that's just the way that like
It's a
I've
part of your
been.
life. That's a good way, man. See, this is what I love about you.
But
No,
it's
like
been
real talk. You always have good energy, even about shit like this, bro.
it's ingrained in me whenever I like as a, like I have a photographer's mind where your photo is supposed to tell a story. That
Mm,
mask is the intro to your story already.
mm.
It's telling us like this is when it happened. Like this is where you were, this is what when it happened and why you were wearing it. Like I don't know. Like for me that's just it's a really good ingrained part. But with Christy, whenever we go anywhere, I say let's take a picture with the mask on and then we take the mask off. Then we take a picture without it because that's going to be the one that goes like maybe in the photo album or whatever. But I'm pretty sure we're going to make an album that's like pandemic adventures.
Right,
Separate it and do something
right.
different. But I mean, with everybody, like I was watching all the photographers and the videographers running
Hmm.
around everywhere.
Hmm.
And they were snapping shots of like the people in the audience and
Yeah.
stuff, like people that were getting emotional and during the ceremony and things. And they all have their masks on. And I was kind of like, dude, that's kind of like a legendary shot. Like that's going to come out really cool. Like
I
just the
mean,
way that it
just think
looks.
20 years from now, they're gonna have kids, right?
Yeah. 20
And
years?
well, at some point, well, not 20 years they're gonna have kids, but they'll have kids of a certain age,
Oh, that
right?
they'll be able to like talk about with this or
And then they're
whatever.
gonna go through the photo album,
Mhm.
whether it's digital or whatever, and they're gonna be like, Mom, Dad, like, why did everybody have a mask on? And you gotta tell that story.
Well, son, come have a seat. Or daughter,
Yeah.
come have a seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
Half
tell you the story.
Thanos came and he snapped half the world. But but yeah, like that's a story to tell, and you're right about that. I really didn't see it that way. I just wanted the best for my friends,
Hmm.
and that's all I could think about. And I was like, and I throughout the ceremony, saw little ways that they made it happen. Like
Yeah.
when they were able to take the mask off, take some pictures,
Yep.
do parts of the ceremony without the mask, and do it that way. And I commend them for having the bravery and the wherewithal to like reduce the numbers, get the people that matter to you most there,
Mhm.
which I am honored to have been in that count. And
Mhm.
I told them previously, like, look, I know shit's weird. You don't owe me shit. I don't feel weird about it. You ain't got to invite me,
Yeah, yeah.
And then they were like, no, you're going. And I was like, okay.
I think it was a very, like, last minute, like, allowance that they got
Mhm,
because up until, like, mid last week, I don't think they had intended for that many people to come.
mm.
Luckily, that church is massive, probably the 3rd largest church I've ever been inside of for any kinda mass
Oh,
or anything
really?
like that.
Mm,
Um, so I was like, "Damn, like, there's a lot of people here, but
mhm.
there's a lot of empty seats here still."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is cool.
It was well spaced out.
Mhm.
Um,
And people were grouped with, like, the people that they
that they
already
came
were
with,
with.
yeah, or the people that they had already been around. Like,
Yep.
our row was all people that
Are in this
I
house
have,
usually.
yeah, in this house. So I was like, all right, we all right here.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, I'm sure they weren't, like, tight, they're probably gonna have with the reception happening next year still,
mhm.
I'm sure everybody's still invited to that, so I'm sure it's just gonna be I don't know, it's like it's cool to see, like, a three-part wedding.
Yeah,
I'm very, honored to, like, be a part of something like that, like, just I mean, not it's not only memorable because of the masks, but
yeah,
the fact that you have 3 different weddings.
yeah. We made the most of it, man. And you do what you can. I think it's a great story because they get to say that we made it happen. We did it
Yeah.
our way. We
Mhm.
didn't let the world stop us. And then we went out and I don't know what they did in the interim, but like after they got done doing what they was doing, we met them for drinks.
Yep.
And it was fun to do that. And I hadn't been out like that in a while.
So that
So
was my next question was gonna be, how
mm,
did it feel for you to actually go somewhere to, like,
yeah,
be
because
with
I
friends?
haven't been anywhere,
No, you
bro.
haven't.
And like it felt good. I was soaking that up,
Yeah.
man. I was soaking that up, and I was like, man, like it's
Under your, like, vision, did you see these businesses doing it properly?
um yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. You still get one or two people that they just decide they want to be different,
Mhm.
I seen, like they made very clear rules. Like you get up from your table, put your mask on, go ahead and your business.
Yeah.
You still see one or two people just like, I'm just gonna walk through.
Mhm.
And being that we were outside, it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like, dude, like it doesn't matter if you don't agree. Like if you're gonna be here, just
Follow the
follow
freaking
the
rule.
community rules so everyone can feel safe. And
Don't be
so
freaking selfish.
yeah, that's it, man. It doesn't matter if you want to be here. I want to be here.
Let's be
This
here.
is this is the rules of the establishment. And even the girl that helped us sit down, she was like, she was very careful with her language.
Mhm.
And I appreciated that. And she was just like, look, the way we understand the mandatory rules, this is what we're asking you to do.
Yep.
So it was like, I didn't make these rules up. We're trying to do business. You're trying to drink. Let's come to this understanding
Meet
so
me in the
you
middle
can
here,
do what you
guys.
want to do and we can make money, right?
Yeah.
And that's fair. So yeah, I had a good time and I felt relatively safe. So
Cool. We
yeah.
were around all the people that were normally around. There was
Yeah.
nobody really new,
Yeah.
that I was, like, concerned with or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, and everywhere that we were, I mean, there was plenty of space.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
there
got to
were
meet Garrett's brother finally, so he's chill. So
yeah.
it was dope.
The amount of space that they give you at each place was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
These were 2 businesses, and, I mean, I don't do we wanna mention the names of them?
Sure.
I
Why
don't think
not?
it's a problem.
Yeah. No.
We went to Bottle Logic Brewery,
Mhm.
first. Um, Nice little outdoor patio area.
Yeah. I love their
Um,
beer.
they ended up yeah, the beer is delicious there. They gave
Sponsor us, you
you
sons of bitches.
not gonna sponsor if you call them the sons of bitches, just
Oh,
so you know. They, they set a time limit, which I thought was nice too,
mhm.
because then you don't get people that just linger, you know?
Yeah.
Hour and a half, they time you, and all your whole party needs to be there
And
when you
they
show up.
they time you after you get your food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's dope.
That's definitely a plus.
Yeah.
And then we went to Brewery X after, right down the street from there. Outdoor patio, massive outdoor patio. All those tables were way spread out. And when I say outdoors, I mean like there was no roofs, just some patio heaters everywhere. So bring sweaters and jackets.
That
Or
was
make
my
sure you
mistake.
get something with a high alcohol content.
That was my mistake. I didn't bring a jacket.
Or get anything with high alcohol content.
Yeah. Warm your ass up right away. Did
So
not do
props to
that.
both of those places because they're doing it right, and I did feel completely comfortable going.
I would go back.
100%.
Yeah. Actually, I think we should
We'll plan that out.
go back. Now I think about it, let's just do that. But
Yeah.
man, let's get off into the main topic here, man.
Yes.
We don't want to run too long this week, but we have been talking about there's just a slew of movies that as we get hyped up for all these Marvel movies and stuff coming out. What we've been noticing is over the years is sometimes we are seeing what's the best way to put this? We were talking about this off the air not too long ago.
It's essentially like a reimagining,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Every time they want to
reboot something
or make a little more money, they reboot something and give us a different imagining of something we've already seen.
a different director's perspective or producer's perspective.
It's not even just a director. It's just a whole workaround. And like it kind of bothered me because I'm starting to realize we only get so deep into these stories and it's kind of like rehashing again.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest example, before we get into other examples, the biggest example is Batman, right? In our lifetime, we have seen a 1989 imagining of Batman, Michael Keaton, a 2005 Christian Bale.
I'm so glad you wrote these down.
And a 2016, this is all in my head, but I ain't writing nothing down.
No.
And a 2016 Ben Affleck version. In all of those forms, and I'm not even counting TV, just the movies.
Did you mention George Clooney?
I didn't count George Clooney because that was not a reimagining. That was a recasting of the character, but the story was still the same from the 89 Batman.
Oh, okay.
That was still the same Batman.
Yeah, you're right.
Val Kilmer, Clooney, all the same Batman. And so we've had to see the Waynes being gunned down in the alley 3 different times in the movie theater, and I loved how Zack Snyder did it. It was kind of like, we know the story, and he cut it into these really cinematic moments, made it very artsy in Batman versus Superman.
Basically part of the intro.
Yeah, part of the intro for the actual movie.
Yeah, so
I was like
a part of the movie.
Yeah, so as soon as we were done with it, and it kind of ties into this overarching mindset. How I think he told the best story of that night when the Waynes were gunned down. Bruce Wayne also died. And what came up through the story of that bat was Batman was born. And I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
Right? But now we're going to do a Robert Pattinson Batman next year.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves is directing that. And we're going to tell that story again?
Yep.
We're getting a year. Instead of getting, it says it's not an origin story, we're going to get a year 1 Batman.
Which is cool. Because I'm more looking forward to that than I am another telling.
I do not want to see a year 1 Batman.
Why not?
Because it's still rehashing the early day. I mean, I understand like
we skipped the stuff that we're complaining about.
Well, we saw a year 0 Batman with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Right? And then you could argue that pretty early in his career, you still had
89 Batman, year 1 Batman?
89 Batman was a Batman in his late 20s, early 30s. So he was already established. But like you saw the early Batman with Bale, and his arc was simple, right? But like with all these villains, you only go so much into the rogues gallery, right? Like Batman has a very extensive rogues gallery. I want to see Clayface. I want to see the Mad Hatter. I want to see a different
serious Mr. Freeze.
Can we do Mr. Freeze again? We've only got him once.
and
You
he was
know,
pretty good,
it
but
was he was pretty good. I actually think you could get Arnold Schwarzenegger again, but
he'd be too old.
my favorite fan casting for that is what's his name from Breaking Bad? Uh
Ooh,
Grand
the
Moff Tarkin, or what's his name? He was in
you talking about like the main guy?
he was in
Malcolm in the Middle?
no, he was in
Oh,
Mandalorian.
why can't I think of his freaking name?
Uh
Mandalorian?
Juan Carlo
Esposito.
Esposito.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, that'd be
Him
pretty
as
epic.
Mr. Freeze,
Yeah,
he'd murder that role,
yeah.
you know? So, I mean,
Yeah, and I'm imagining him doing it because
yeah.
he'd be so serious about
Yeah.
it. It'd be
Killer
great.
Croc, Solomon Grundy. Um, I mean, the list goes on and on. Like even with the Christian Bale Batman, I'm glad they gave us Ra's al Ghul, but you could go so far into that. I
Yeah.
would, and like, so we had a good thing going with Christian Bale's Batman.
Uh-huh.
There was a 3-movie arc. We only got so many villains, and we're done, right?
Let's do that
Um,
again, but
and then
next
now,
year.
yeah, and then we get Ben Affleck, but we get a late Batman who's already lived that life.
Yeah, he's already hardened.
We've never seen that Batman, and that's why he's so monstrous, right? It would have been nice to go backwards with him and go tell that story. Like you could have been all over the place.
Yeah,
You could have told stories of in the past, and you could have told stories of what's going on with this late Batman.
yeah.
You know, but instead now we're getting a year one Batman, and what, we're gonna get Scarecrow again? We're gonna get Joker again? They said we're getting Riddler. That's
Which
who
I'm
the
cool
main
with.
villain is
I'm
of the
pretty
song.
excited about Riddler,
Yeah,
even though I don't think anybody's ever gonna top Jim Carrey's Riddler.
I think they will.
You
Easily.
think so?
Easily.
I
Because it
think
won't be a campy. Jim Carrey was good for what he was doing for what time we were in,
for the type of movie
and
that
I'm
it was.
sure I'm sure he could do it again if you were to cast him again.
Yeah,
But this Riddler's gonna be menacing.
yeah.
It's gonna have a whole much bigger, dangerous twist to it. So I think that there's room for a different take.
Am I crazy or is it just the nostalgia? Batman the Animated Series had the best iterations of all of those villains. The Riddler in that one was like just perfectly balanced. He was comical, but he was also pretty serious.
Hmm.
Mr. Freeze was dead serious. Like that dude was just stone cold.
He's like a robot.
He was basically a robot.
Yeah, because
Even
he
Poison
had a cold
Ivy.
heart.
Poison Ivy, I think Uma Thurman did a pretty good job with Poison Ivy. And like, if I had nothing but the animated series to kind of go off of to like base my character off of,
Hmm.
she nailed it.
Yeah,
She was perfectly seductive. She was curvy. She looked attractive for
yeah,
Batman.
yeah, yeah,
I think the animated series like nailed everything.
yeah.
Even
They
when they
did.
hit the Phantom Menace,
I
like
mean,
that was perfect.
I mean, it's there's still no like no one questions. Like it's still one of the top animated TV shows of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I was
know?
gonna correct you and try to say comic book, but no, it's like all time, just
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Like
It's
it's
solid.
still on the books. It's still on the books. It's still up there.
Yeah,
Um, it just is what it is. But we get all these iterations, right? So we're starting over with Batman all over again, and it's kind of like, and it's because Warner they're like, oh, okay, well, let's just do this. Let's just throw another dollar at it.
yeah.
Let's instead of like Ben Affleck is there.
Hmm.
Like it's still more stories. You already got a storyline set up, but they want to do something different because they're reactionary. Right? They watch what Marvel does. They watch what people are saying, and they're just kind of changing with the times. Here's another example, and you and I were talking about this: Superman.
Hmm.
We've got 1978 Superman, Christopher Reeves.
Yep.
We got 2006 Superman, Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
Which
Who?
baby daddy issues, like who wanted to see Superman be a baby daddy? No
Yeah.
one ever. A creepy baby daddy. He was staring out the window like, "It's my son," and you're like, the hell is happening right now?
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know. It was just and then it turned Lois Lane into kind of a two-timing whore. Like
Tour.
like the story goes, if you don't know that story, pretty much she was with Superman, They banged, and just to show you how little they thought this through, they banged. He had to go handle a mission because he was told Krypton might still exist, so he had to leave. She got with someone so quick that he thought her child was his. Think about how fast you would have to do that.
Yeah.
For that math to make sense. That's like 1 or 2 months.
She could
That's
just
not
have
9 months.
she could just have like Maury Povich syndrome, you know?
And then she didn't tell the dude. Like she says she knew the whole time it was Clark's kid,
Hmm.
but she didn't tell the dude. And here's this dude for 5 years raising his kid like it was his. Right? Like you just made Lois Lane foul. Right? And then Superman show up and then like he's like, "Oh, so we not a thing no more? You with that guy. Oh, okay. So you knew where I was going. You know what I had to do.
Yep.
Okay. Here's this kid. Is that my kid? Yeah, Clark, but I couldn't tell so and so. The fuck? What kind of story is this?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you are the Man of Steel, right? Instead of like, hey homie, we need to talk. That might be your girl, but that's my kid. He just gonna be in the window floating with his hands crossed like, it's my kid. What story are we telling?
Is that for real? How that
Yes.
series panned
Yes.
out?
Watch it. I am not making this up. That's how the story went.
This is ridiculous.
That's how the story went. And then only like at the end of the movie, the man goes, "Oh, I realize he's yours, Superman."
And he
Like-
just gives the kid up, or does he keep raising him?
How does that work out? He's still there. He's still with Lois, I think.
Wow.
But like it's kind of like this triangle now. Like this is your dad in your house, but I'm
get
your
you on the
real dad.
weekends.
So when you have powers and stuff, you come with me.
I get you on weekends and some
Yeah,
Saturday- and
yeah,
some
yeah,
Wednesdays.
yeah. The
Wow. This is all reminding me of Homelander in The Boys.
It is that I think that's where they got that idea from.
That kind of makes sense.
I think that's where they got that idea from. They looked at Superman Returns and they was like, we still in that topic and we gonna one up it. But
We're gonna make it more graphic.
yeah, so we did that. Then we got Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Great movie in my eyes. Right? That's again, they found an interesting way to tell the origin story in a slightly different way. And what I liked about that is as we moved forward in time, we kind of had these flashbacks that correlated to what he was going through.
Mhm.
So you didn't have to spend 15 minutes like, oh, here's little baby Clark, on the Smallville farm.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is, his little kid. Oh,
we
here's
skipped
where
the
he
boring
first
shit.
exhibited his powers. And you have to sit through that. Like, when do we get to Metropolis? When does
Yeah.
he find his power?
Yeah.
They kind of told both sides of that at the same time. Now, with all this PC stuff, with everything that's going on, they are saying that they want to do another take on Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to make Superman black. Okay. So,
Not against it.
what story are you telling me, though?
Yeah.
Right? It's not that him having black skin is an issue.
There we go.
Yep. Hello, freeze. Yep. Had a little technical issue right there, but that's okay. Get everything off and rolling.
Back to normal.
Back to normal. All right, there we go.
So you were saying it's not that he's black.
So it's not that he's black. It's more so that are we just gonna say Superman, the same exact story happens, except this is a black child.
That'd be
He still
interesting.
lands on the Kent farm. Everything still happens, but this is a black child. Because if that's the case, I don't want that. Because if we're just doing that just for the sake of let's
PC.
just have
Yeah.
Superman be black,
It's just unnecessary.
it's
Just
unnecessary.
ridiculous.
Right. Now, if you were going to say this is not Kal-El, and this is a whole nother alt world, and this is
Cal J.
yeah. I think they did this in the comic books. I think his name is like Zor, whatever,
Calzone.
Calzone. And I don't know if he ends up on the Kent farm or somewhere else,
Yeah.
but this is not Clark Kent.
Mhm.
He's someone else.
I'd be cool with that.
Who I would be interested in that. But are we only doing that because there's this wave of like black people are cool now and we want to do that? Do we just want to give an interpretation of a black Superman? Because I don't mean to downplay it because it's important, right? There is an importance in having representation.
Mhm.
I didn't quite feel that to a certain degree, but I see how it's important because for me, I didn't have a problem at looking at Superman and go, I'm Superman.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't have that problem. I don't know why I didn't have that problem. But I see my son when he saw Black Panther and he was like, I want to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, that's when he saw someone who looked like him and he believed a little more.
The role model. He
Yeah.
believed that there was a role model there.
Right. So I know it's a thing, right? But also, I tell people all the time, you guys want black superheroes? You want your representation? Do the same work that these Jewish people did. You know what I mean? Stan Lee was sitting in his room as a young man, as a young adult, writing these comic books, grinding with these comic books, trying to get these characters popular, and he did the work all the way to his dying day.
Yeah.
To create these characters to be who they are. Same thing with DC characters, right? Do the work. Do the work. Create a character that we can get behind and stop trying to race swap characters that already exist. They weren't imagined that way. There's no reason to do that.
They did, I think, a fantastic job when they reimagined Spider-Man
Yeah.
and they made Miles Morales. The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
was his kind of origin story, that intro to everything,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It
But see,
was captivating.
they found a way to do that without shitting on the original material.
Yeah, they still kind of tied everything in
Mm-hmm.
because it's not Peter Parker.
Right.
It's a new character.
Mm-hmm.
But they still even tied it into Peter Parker's story.
Mhm.
They based a video game off of it. It's like one of the best-selling video games of all time now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a great there's a possibility of great success in this retelling of a new Superman story, and quite
Mhm.
frankly, I think I think they need it.
Okay.
I think they need to revamp the DC universe a little bit,
Mhm.
kind of give it a little bit of a jump start or
Mhm.
something to just kind of get people paying attention again. Um, I thought Zack Snyder's Justice League was going to be it, but I don't know. It's not. I don't feel like it's shaping up to be what I
Oh, it's gonna be
imagined it was going to
amazing.
be.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
It's gonna be amazing. I mean, and he already leaked what his ideas were for Justice League 2 and 3.
that himself. He's been leaking them himself. Like
Yeah.
he's been telling everybody on Instagram.
And man, the story he was getting ready to tell, I mean, it was next level stuff. And
But-
it was not cute.
So it's a good thing I didn't watch the original Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just gonna sit down and watch this new Justice League.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Because
I will wait for you.
yeah. Well, we're gonna marathon him. I mean,
Yeah.
not in one day, I don't think, but maybe one day. I don't know.
Uh,
4 hours, right?
No. Wait. What do we need to watch before that? We need to watch BVS,
Mine's still fresh in my head.
Man of Steel. What do you need? You need Man of Steel, BVS,
Watched it,
Wonder Woman,
watched it.
and you're good.
I don't need Aquaman.
No.
Good.
Aquaman's a fun watch.
I know. We talked about this,
Yeah.
but,
But
I don't want to add more to my itinerary.
there is so much more story to tell. Like right now with Henry Cavill, right?
Yeah.
We got General Zod.
Yeah.
Then we had Batman
Mhm.
and the introduction of Lex Luthor,
Doomsday.
and then Steppenwolf.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Which is it's a
We haven't.
decent lineup.
Yeah, but I mean, there's literally Bizarro. We still didn't. We got a young Lex Luthor, so he hasn't grown into the superpower that he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um, there's
But like they finally introduced something new. Doomsday. Like, and they did it big.
they
I think they
did
did it big.
Doomsday terribly though.
I know, but they tried at least. Like,
They tried to. I mean, I didn't mind them turning General Zod into Doomsday.
yeah.
I'm mad that Doomsday looked like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. Visually could have been a lot cooler,
And
for
then
sure.
they, I don't know. There's so much they could have did with that movie that they didn't.
We've
And then
talked
they,
about that in another episode. We've already
yeah, it's just. But
we've been over
but
it.
this is a part of the problem, right? So they made errors, right?
Yeah.
So they made errors in the movies, and you're right. We don't need to rehash that, but now they're saying, okay, well, let's just do another take. Let's start this all over again. So like now we have to watch this origin story all over again.
But
Like,
who are going to be his villains? Are they
right,
going to, if you don't know, because we don't know if it's going to be a retelling of the same story or if there's going to be a brand new story that goes along with this.
right.
Which I would imagine there's probably going to be like a guest appearance from some villain that we are already familiar with. That way, it doesn't get too
They
loose.
have to. They will never swing for the fences like that. It's
Yeah.
always going to be a safe bet first
Yeah.
to
The
draw in the
Joker,
money, and then they're
or
going to promise you shit that they're not going to do.
yeah, because they don't get successful enough.
Yeah.
Because they
So
don't
like,
try something new.
yeah. So the first villain's going to be like, it's going to be like Lex Luthor. I promise you, it's gonna always be like, just like Batman. Every time they gotta quickly get to the Joker,
Yeah.
no matter what. Like even with this, right? Like Batman was weathered, and already damn near 50 years old, and all this supposed to already happen. And this is late in his career. They still found a way to say, "There's the Joker."
Yeah. To be fair, though, the Joker's kind of the coolest villain that Batman probably has.
I don't mind. I don't mind. All I'm saying is, I get tired of the repetitiveness. Like,
Yeah.
tell me the story.
It's just nobody's ever gonna like top Heath Ledger
Yeah.
or Jack Nicholson.
There was, but see, that was
Mainly Heath Ledger.
that's what fascinated me about it though, because you have to do a different take, right?
Yeah.
And so they all were successful in their own way. I think. I think Leto didn't get a fair shake.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't really get much time with his Joker, but
He has a bigger part in
in this version of Justice League, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see that.
But there's the fact that we were starting in such a different place. Oh shit, Robin's dead, so we can't even visit that. Like, you got to tell me a whole different story. That's interesting.
I'm here.
And they
You,
dipped
you
away
brought
from
up
it.
something that I was gonna bring up. The Robin.
Mhm.
Why haven't we had a Robin movie yet?
It's hard to do a Robin movie.
But he's
Because if you do a true adaptation of Robin, that is the most reckless shit Batman could ever do.
so like in the spotlight though with like Teen Titans and things like that. Like
Yeah,
kids
they've been
love
trying
Robin.
to grow that. They've been trying to grow that, but like Robin is hard to do because if you go comic book accurate, he's like 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
So you mean yo off the rocker ass took a hold of an orphan child, and then you fucking have him moonlighting as a vigilante at night? Like how that is child endangerment, right?
But it's an interesting story.
Like, he's not even 20. He's not 18. He's like a little 15-year-old running around like, let's go kill bad guys and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to tell that story. And then like, Robin used to be kind of campy, right? They
Yeah.
found different ways to make him cooler. Like, they took away like they made the tights different and all that.
Yeah.
Like over the years, because it's kind of like I always used to laugh because I go, oh, Batman gets to be all stealth, and we're all black. That's why I said black man, because I knew I was going with the black, right?
For sure.
But he gets to wear all black, and you can't see him at night.
And
And this
Robin over
motherfucker got red on like a bullseye.
here, the yellow Speedo on.
And yellow Speedos with a bunch of red, whatever, right? So what they've done over the years is they made the cape for Robin black with red trim on the inside.
Yeah.
And then they gave him darker shades of red, right? They gave him a crimson red or whatever.
Yeah.
That's really dark or whatever. So, they made him look cooler. They've given him a better backstory. and introduce different parts of him. Like
Mhm.
even like the first original Robin turns into Nightwing.
Yep.
He's actually he's actually he's got a very strained relationship with Batman. He's like as much as he loves him, he's like, yo, Bruce Wayne's a dick.
Yeah.
Like fuck you, Bruce, but thank you, but fuck you.
Yeah.
So it's
You
kind
don't
of
see a movie out of that a little bit?
I mean, they're having to work on that reputation. So um there's ways to incorporate that, but people don't want to touch it. Like even Zack Snyder said, like, I really didn't want to touch that.
Yeah.
That's why I just killed him off. And like, I mean, like, yo, which Robin is it that is dead? He was like, oh, Dick Grayson, he's dead. And I'm like, you
The
killed Dick
Robin.
Grayson?
Like the major Robin.
The one that everyone knows, right? And I don't know, and like, it's kind of one of those things where it's so financial. Like they try to make characters popular that aren't popular, right?
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that they said that they're doing again, whole nother reboot is after this, and we're getting Robert Pattinson. They've got plans to introduce a Terry McGinnis Batman.
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, you're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's Batman Beyond.
Oh.
Right? And like no one knows who
man.
that is. I barely know who that is. I don't want to see that. I
It
want
was
to
a
see
hit. It was a hit.
I want to see Ben Affleck. I want to see Bruce Wayne stories that are more. There's so many stories to tell with Bruce Wayne.
Like a lot.
A lot, and we've never touched on that. We it's hard to even get out of a certain time period, and you already want to introduce somebody that's not famous,
Yeah.
right? There's the whole thing with Superman, right? No one knows like I couldn't remember the name of the black Superman that exists, right? Like it's not a popular thing.
Yeah. I was reading into like Batman stories that I haven't heard of
Mhm.
yet. And I was captivated by like the first one that I ran across. Batman Year 2.
Mhm.
Year 2, written by Mike W. Barr, has a lot to live up to purely on name recognition.
Okay.
Following Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year 1 is no small feat. Year 2 tests Batman's core principles when it comes to the use of guns as a new villain known as the Reaper arrives on the scene.
Mm.
In an effort to stop this mass murderer, Bruce must not only embrace his most hated weapon, but also finds himself working alongside the very man who murdered his parents. A sequel story is also available via Full Circle, which is very much worth looking into. Blah 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 blah. Dude's gonna team up with the guy that killed his parents. He's gonna start using guns. Like, that's a story I want to hear. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
That sounds badass.
Yeah.
That
so
sounds
many,
like the Punisher.
there's so many avenues you could go down. And you already have things in place, but again, it's about reaction, right? Like we've done this so many times. Like
It's
look
annoying.
look at what happened with Hellboy.
Yeah.
They did a Hellboy with Ron Perlman in what 2000, what year was that?
Early 2000s
2004?
somewhere.
2004 or so, and then they did it again. Yeah,
Flopped.
2004, 2000.
Before 2010. I
It
know
was
that.
two movies, right? Two
There's
movies.
Hellboy, Hellboy 2, and then the new Hellboy.
And then 2019 with David Arbor,
yeah.
right? And it's like,
And they all flopped. Everything.
and they could have kept Ron Perlman and the director, and they decided not to.
Yeah.
And it's like, tell your story, like let's get it out there. But like the mismanagement of money and just trying to always shift things around. Like I understand there's a business, but when you have to keep starting over, it gets tiresome.
How's that good business?
You know, I don't know. I mean, you find Marvel's been really good at finding different ways to do it, and do it quickly, right? Like they essentially
experiment a
did
lot.
it. They did it with the Hulk. Remember that? You
Yeah.
probably don't even realize that.
I do.
Okay. Like that first Hulk movie was like garbage.
The animated one?
No.
All CGI
Well,
Hulk?
Yes.
That was kind of cool because it was all destruction.
I hated that movie because you didn't get the Hulk except for the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So it was like, the fuck? And it looked bad, right? And then and this was before the MCU.
Yep.
Right? And then they did Iron Man and they were like, oh.
Then they hit up Edward Norton.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they redid it, origin story and everything.
Yep.
So they took the hit because it was kind of early. It had only been like a handful of years.
Yep.
And then it didn't work out with Edward Norton, but they still found a way to keep the story.
Yep. Because it worked.
It worked, and they just recast the actor, and like I'm okay with that. Like move the story along. You know, that's the reason why the MCU is where it is, right? Because these stories they move along. They don't. If they did what the DC universe is doing,
it would just be restarting every
yeah,
other year.
every couple of years, and that's been my biggest problem.
Like, just keep pushing it forward, try something else.
Mhm.
And and I like that they experiment with TV shows too, because I feel like those TV shows that they put out kind
Yeah.
of feel the crowd out. Are they accepting of this? Do they like it? Cool. Let's proceed with the sequel to this or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel like that's a part of the strategy, like how they have those different phases and how those work out.
Yeah.
Um, there's a character that I'm still like I don't know enough about to know if I really want to see the story pan out in like a film,
Okay.
but I'm very interested in Scarlet Spider. Um, Scarlet Spider is a clone that who
Oh,
created
oh,
him?
oh, yeah, he was a clone of Peter Parker, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he
and
has
he
like
actually thought he was Spider-Man until
yep.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
was like told like you're not Spider Man, like
yeah.
you're just a clone, like you're nobody. And then he goes through like this whole like identity crisis
Mhm.
breakdown, and then he just still becomes a vigilante and remains the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah,
Like I don't know why they haven't tapped into all these other ones. Like even Spider Man 2099,
yeah,
they finally tap into him in the Spider Man into the Spider Verse.
right.
I mean, you only see like a few seconds of it, but you know where the sequel's going.
Yeah,
But that was like a cool spin-off of what Spider Man was. All those 2099 characters were kinda cool, like, even the X-Men 2099 were kinda cool.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
there's so many stories to tell. You just have to
this
you
one re
have to get on a plan,
yeah,
stick to it, and not be so reactionary, and do things where like if you need to adjust, it's fine. Again, the MCU. That's all they're doing.
yeah,
They've documented and they keep themselves flexible. Like they're gonna again reboot the Fantastic Four because Fox had them and tried it what 3 times now.
yep, but now they're letting the right hands get a hold of it, I
Yeah,
think.
and they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait. And speaking about race bending, Michael B. Jordan was the Human Torch
Yeah,
in the last iteration, and I liked it.
yeah,
At first, I was like, when I first read that, I was like, no.
it was
And
a
then
little
they
weird.
told a good story that made it make sense. And I mean, the movie was flawed because
Yeah,
the studio fucked with it. And I just recently watched that movie about a month ago, and oh my god, the first like hour of it,
yep.
amazing, amazing.
Basically turn it off after an
You're
hour.
like, oh, and then you see Doctor Boom, and you're like, oh, and he goes. Then there's the hallway scene, and you're like, this is getting tasty, and then it all goes downhill. Like literally right after that scene, you're like, they
Bummer.
just you could tell the point where the studio said, fuck this movie.
It's unfortunate.
It's like that was one of the for a superhero movie, like how much blood was in that hallway
Yeah,
from Doctor Doom just fucking telekinetically busting people's heads.
mhm.
I was like, I don't even know how you deal with this.
You're sounding making him sound like he was like Darth Vader.
He was like it was like it's reminiscent to the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Tasty.
It's tasty, bro. It's tasty. And they
Hmm,
made him look a little. I don't know. Some people didn't like the look. I dug the look.
yeah.
It was like literally like because of what he went through, his astronaut gear molded onto him. So they
Oh,
couldn't get him out of his astronaut gear, and he had a little cape on, and like it made it look pretty authentic. And it was stained in green because he fell in some green liquid, so he looked comic book accurate.
interesting.
Yeah, and it was pretty good, bro. And like the dude he had anger issues, and you could tell like um the environment kind of tainted his mindset,
Huh.
but he wasn't wrong, but he was a little hasty,
Yeah,
and they were setting that up really well, and it looked really good, and all the actors were properly casted,
yeah.
I thought, and they didn't want to make money. That's my only explanation for how that movie fails.
Huh.
It's it's going to a theme park, getting on your favorite ride, and they say everybody hold on, and then the ride breaks down.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's literally what it is.
It's disappointing.
It's so disappointing.
I still want to watch it though.
I will not vouch for that. Go ahead
Yeah.
at your own discretion.
Yeah.
But yeah. But again, so I just wish you have to realize that a lot of these companies they're not doing this for the love of the
They're not doing a
audience.
fan service. No.
It's not, yeah. They're doing it for their pockets. So if they feel like, hey, just whatever, restart this again.
I'm intrigued where all these video game adaptations that are coming are gonna go. Um,
Do you like any of them so far?
I loved Sonic the Hedgehog. I thought it was
You
incredible.
loved it?
I thought it was great.
Huh.
It's been a very,
I
very,
liked it.
very long time since I've watched a video game movie
Uh-huh.
get made where I actually had fun watching it. Jim Carrey saved that movie.
I liked it. I liked it.
I, it-
James
it's-
Marsden hurts my heart.
He was replaceable. But
I can't
didn't
forgive
focus
him
on
for
him.
I can't forgive him for Cyclops.
See, that's probably why I'm okay. I loved it more than you did.
I don't know why, dude. Like every time I'm like, fuck that guy.
But they did such a good job. Like, and it's deeper than just like watching the movie.
Uh-huh.
It's that the production company made the effort to redesign Sonic. Like they actually did listen to the fans. The fans all had like a major
I think that
outcry.
was a ploy.
I don't know, man.
I think it was a ploy. I think they already had that skin ready
I don't know.
because people were complaining from the pictures.
That's what I'm saying. They did the pictures
Like
and then
before the trailer came out,
yeah.
when they just showed us, there's a picture of him on the San Francisco Bridge with just his legs, and they're like, "Yo, like why does
Why do those
Sonic
feet look
have
weird?"
runner's legs?"
Yeah.
Right?
Why is he so muscular?
Yeah, like and like so they already knew, and I feel like they did I feel like they did that on purpose.
You think it was a PR stunt?
I think it was a PR stunt.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
It's
I
not
really hope
hard to
it's
switch
not.
the skin. You tell the animator do two skins, do one. Sonic roided up,
Uh-huh.
and like you got to remember they already have all the graphics in place, right, for the movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's literally slap the skin on, and it's it, right? They don't have to reanimate
Yeah.
anything. They just redid the skin, right? So they go, okay, do a roided Sonic, and then do a classic Sonic. We're gonna put a trailer out and see if people go for it.
Uh-huh.
But they're probably gonna be mad, and we're gonna be like, "Yo, we fixed it. It's cool," and people are gonna be happy.
Well, when they like the first time that I heard about it was through like the video game community
Mhm.
podcasts and things that I read into.
Yeah,
Um, the outcry was there when the first thing released, and they
yeah.
didn't
It was
do
so
it.
off. It was
Yeah,
so off.
that's why I was like thinking like I don't think it's on purpose because the outcry was there right off the bat.
Mhm.
They waited a decent amount of time to redo everything. Um, and if they would have released
Yeah.
the classic Sonic look first,
Mhm.
I think fans would have like been happy with it.
Yeah,
I think they would have been like they're ready to embrace it.
yeah.
But I think they gave more credit because they actually did do the redesign. They
But I
showed
think
us
they
one thing and
wanted
changed it to
that
another.
credit because, like, I've spoke to some animators,
Yeah,
and it was like, yeah, it's not hard to like just do.
re-render something.
Yeah, if you
Mhm.
already have it, like, and it's just a matter of setting a date. Like they just did that shit on purpose. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what I think. I think they wanted the
the hype and
conversation,
everything.
just the conversation,
Yeah,
and then they,
that was more controversy than conversation. I think.
yeah.
Like nerds were losing it.
But in either case, I thought the movie was good. I didn't love it, but
They've already given us a taste of like what the next one's gonna be with
yeah.
Tails in it,
Mhm.
and I'm all in already.
I'm
I'm
in.
totally in. Detective Pikachu, I thought it was dope.
I didn't see it.
I liked it. I think you'd like it. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
it helps to know a little bit about Pokemon just
Yeah,
because
that's the problem.
the nostalgia for me hit because you get to see all these Pokemon in like
That's the age
cool
gap between
rendering and
us.
stuff.
Yeah, that's the age gap between us. So
Maybe.
I didn't watch Pokemon.
I know people older than me that love Pokemon.
I know, but like for me, like I was already when Pokemon came out, I was already yeah, I was in high school.
I was in middle school.
Yeah, I was already in high
Um,
school, so like I was already off that. My brother, who's what? How was my brother? My brother's 32.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
probably into it.
that was his shit. So
I was hoping that they were gonna do more with it, but it is what
mhm,
it is. I'll take what I got.
mhm,
Um, but now they're gonna come out with like that HBO series for The Last of Us. That's gonna be an interesting
mhm,
zombie apocalypse adaptation of a video game.
uh-huh. I
I still
liked
don't know.
I liked Resident Evil, even though it wasn't video game accurate.
Yeah, yeah. That was a completely new story.
Yeah, the first 3 movies were great.
Yeah.
Um, I liked
Silent Hill.
I don't think I liked that one. I
I
don't
didn't watch
remember.
it. It's too scary for me.
The second iteration of Hitman,
Uh-huh.
that was the second one was good. The first one was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" But the second one was good. I heard Assassin's Creed was awful,
Yeah.
but
I watched bits and pieces. I was not
I didn't
interested.
bother to try to watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Yes,
Angelina Jolie.
the Angelina Jolie version has a nostalgic place in my heart.
Yeah. That was pretty video game accurate.
The way that the way that Mortal Kombat 1 has a
Soft spot.
soft spot, like it's bad. It's inherently bad.
That's when that see the we're reaching back there because that's where I was going to get to is
Okay.
all these newer adaptations have done a better job than the classics where
Right.
you had your Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
Yeah.
your Street Fighter, your Mario Brothers, your
Oh,
John Leguizamo.
why'd you bring that up? Never speak that again.
There's a reason that there hasn't been a Mario movie made since then because Nintendo doesn't trust anybody with their characters. They're finally going to get a Mario Brothers movie. It's supposed to be coming out pretty soon, actually. I
Is
think.
it live action or?
No, it's going to be CGI. It's made by the same people that made the Minions and stuff. I don't know if it's going to take place in the real world
I,
or
I
if it's
hope
all
not.
cartoon.
I hope not, because man, me and the kids,
You're going to see it.
we just tried to watch Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
We watched about 5 minutes of it,
And got over it, really?
and we were like, "We're done."
No, that's disappointing.
And then I saw a review on it, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Cash grab.
Like, not even like it's a bad looking movie. It's a bad look. It's a bad
sucks.
look. Yeah.
I didn't have high hopes for it whatsoever.
It's
but
it's terrible. It's right down the line with like the way Smurfs came out and
yeah.
whatever other movie like that. It's the same exact, like live action and CGI is just really hard to do. Or not CGI, that's normal animation.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've been trying to get that right since Roger Rabbit. It just does not work.
Roger Rabbit was the only movie that nailed it.
Yeah. But Roger Rabbit, the problem with Roger Rabbit, or the thing with Roger Rabbit, is Roger Rabbit lived in its own space.
Yes, it did.
Like it had a way of saying like, we know.
Did you reach for other characters and stuff like that?
Just live with it.
Yeah.
But we know.
It's Disney, I promise.
Yeah. And everything else has been like even Space Jam too. Like, I don't know why we love Space Jam, but we love Space Jam.
Because it's like all of our NBA heroes with all of our favorite cartoon characters at the time.
Probably.
That's the most nostalgic thing I've ever seen. Come on.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I watched, I don't know, when was the last time I watched Space Jam? It must have been 10 years ago. And I was like, it's Space Jam.
It's classic.
It's just Space Jam.
It's
And Michael Jordan is not an actor.
It's a part of the DCEU now,
Yeah.
so I need you to get used to it.
It's canon. It's canon.
I'll still stop and watch it if I ever scroll past it or
Right.
something.
But why? It's bad. It's a bad movie.
It is. Michael Jordan is so bad in that movie.
It's so bad.
It's the song. It's the song. The song is what gets you every time.
Hit him high, hit him high, hit him.
Welcome
Hit
to
him low,
the
hit
jam.
him low. Oh my god, I can't find that song, man. I can't find that song. I looked at Spotify. They do not have it.
I'm gonna find that shit on Apple Music. I'm gonna put it on my workout playlist.
Yeah, I love that song. But
Yeah.
I remember the music video for it too.
There's a music video.
Yeah,
Was
Coolio.
it a bunch of
B-Real,
clips of the
yeah, man, it was a
movie?
good run. And LL Cool J comes down, licking his lips and like,
Oh, of course.
doing his LL thing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I know movies is a money making process. It's all
is.
about that dollar. But when you have material to already grab from, you should be able to use that material, adapt what you have to, because books, TV shows, cartoons, they don't always translate to movies.
No.
There has to be adaptation.
Mhm.
I get it, but you could still say stay pretty close to the source material. Like, it's no way, there was no way in hell you should mess up Transformers, Michael Bay.
Talking to you.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way. How do you mess up Batman? How do you do it? There's the comic book. That's how I knew Kathleen Kennedy was full of shit. When she said, "Oh yeah, there's no," how did she say it? There's no roadmap for this. There's nothing to pull information from. I'm like, did this bitch just really say that? And she worked for Lucasfilms? Are you for real right now? Like, there's literally graphic novels, there's literally comic books, there's literally video games.
Go make a movie out of any one of those things.
Which one do the people like?
Yeah.
Look at the bestsellers list.
But
Tell that
also,
story.
but I also don't want you to fuck it up. So
Yeah. It's like, it's right there. And like, I like how they don't do things verbatim exact. Like Civil War, the concept of Civil War is there, but the Civil War in the comic books is not the Civil War that we got on screen.
Mhm.
Not even close. Right? Like, and that was the reason that I went into the hype, right? Like, I remember I was talking to Jerry when that was coming out. I'm like, man, Captain America's supposed to die. Blah, 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 blah. Not even close.
Weren't the X-Men involved in the original Civil War?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spider-Man's identity comes out.
Yeah.
You know, he was one of the few people who had an identity. Like, I mean, again, those adaptations, right? Like, I like that, and I can't believe that a lot of people actually get a lot of flack for this. A lot of people don't even know, but Black Panther is not an Avenger,
No,
right?
he's not. Yeah.
You know, Guardians of the Galaxy, they're not Avengers, right? Like, they don't walk around, like Iron Man does not walk around, or Captain America doesn't walk around and go, Iron Man, help me.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be like, hey, Tony, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Natasha, blah, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
a little more casual.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't be like, oh, go talk to the Black Widow over there.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's more grounded.
It's
right?
not so militaristic.
Yeah, it's so formal almost, and but you do that in comic books.
Yeah.
Right? Or in cartoons or whatever, right? And it's more like, she went through the Black Widow program. She is a Black Widow. I mean, you could pull off I am Iron Man, right? Captain America is a title, so Captain America.
Yep.
You could do those things, and like, I'm glad they don't like all of a sudden Black Panther shows up and they go, "You are now an Avenger. You helped to save the day."
Gee, thanks, guys.
Yeah. I'm happy to be on the team.
Yeah.
Do I get to live in the Avenger Mansion now?
Let me fly the plane.
Yeah, it's not like that, right? It's more like, we're super friends, but I'm gonna go back to Wakanda.
We're super friends. That was actually more realistic than super friends. That's kind of more what it was like.
Yeah, y'all call me if y'all need anything. You got that international number? Okay,
Yeah.
hit me on the hip.
Once a week, we'll meet at the
Yeah.
building and we'll have a meeting.
Yeah, and then so like, I like that they were able, like, that's adaptation.
Mhm.
I know in the comic books, like, they're all together in the tower. It's like,
Not how it was.
it's not. You gotta make it work. So I just think that they got to put a little more thought into it, especially stuff that already has a following. It's just,
Captain America only said Avengers Assemble once in that entire MCU.
but we waited for it.
So long.
But wait, they teased us. Remember at Age of Ultron? They cut it off right before he said
says
assemble.
Avengers?
Apparently, he said it twice.
Yeah.
And we were like,
You're right. Yeah. Say it. Just say it.
Like, he's never gonna say it. And then everybody was like, yeah, it's too campy. You can't say that. It's too campy.
I want to hear it.
I wanted to hear it too. But there are people mad at how he said it.
Yeah.
They're like, why did he whisper it? And how the
That's
dudes in the
bastard.
back hear him? It's like,
Bastard.
Avengers!
You-
Assemble.
You bastards. You bastard. God dang it.
I felt it. I loved it. But even though that was wrong,
What?
see, like, I could pick at that.
That Avengers Assemble?
Yeah, it was wrong.
It's what the fuck does he actually say?
They were going into battle. They were
Yeah.
already assembled. That
Yeah.
whole process was them assembling.
It's ingrained in me at the beginning of every stage in Captain America and the Avengers video game. Every time you start a new level, it's always Avengers Assemble, and then the level starts.
Oh. Yeah.
I heard it too much.
Yeah. Like, they picked the perfect time for him to say it,
Yeah.
but it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
She said Avengers
I
we're
still buy
assembled.
it. I still buy it.
Avengers assembled.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like somebody should have been like, "We're already assembled.
Yeah, we're already here, dude.
We're here."
Everybody's here.
But
Oh man.
yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're on the outside looking in, so it's nothing we could do about it.
No, man.
We just spent like an hour venting.
Oh, pretty much. That's that's pretty much what it was.
That's pretty much what it was.
Look,
Was this your therapy before you leave?
ultimately, this is so just kind of like as a backstage or like a behind the scenes kind of story, but
Mm.
we're recording this 2 days after the last episode that we recorded. So it's not like a lot of news has happened.
Stop snitching on the
But
community.
like I mean, I'm gonna be not at home for the next like week. So we wanted to record something to release next week.
Man.
And
That's
I
because
ultimately
we
like
love the fans.
yeah, seriously.
It's really hard on me to record today. I was really tired.
You're really hungover.
I'm not hungover. I'm a little bit more of a champ. I'm not hungover. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less hungover than most people in this house.
Yeah. Well, that's man. If y'all knew my life, you knew where I lived, you would be laughing
Yeah.
because it got a little. Yesterday was a good day.
The wheels didn't fall off yesterday,
No, it was pretty damn close.
but they were rocking.
They were rock, man. Man,
Oh,
man. Everyone had a good. You know what? I'm glad for days like yesterday because you know what? Nothing bad happened.
Yeah. Everything was good yesterday.
And oh, you know what else happened to me?
Huh.
And I know she's never gonna watch this show, or at least in her youth, she's not gonna watch this show. But Haley's smartwatch
Uh-huh.
went off like 20 times at 5 a.m.
Oh.
calling me.
It went
Something's
off?
wrong. Something's wrong with it. We have to actually. I'm glad I have the ability from the app. It allows me to turn the watch off.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, if I don't know, she fucking farts, it calls me. Like it's weird, bro. Like it like literally it just kept calling me.
The hell?
And like the first couple times, I'm like, "Hey, everything okay?" And like my phone rings 5 a.m. And I'm like, I want to be
Hello?
like, "Daddy was drinking last night. I'm tired. Stop
Yeah.
calling me."
Yeah.
But yeah, and she was asleep. Like I could hear Nathan in the background snoring and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just hung up and called back, hung up, called back, hung up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, maybe it's a code that something's happened. She can't talk. So I was like, breathe really hard. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. She was asleep, whatever.
You just kept hearing snoring.
Yeah. So I just was like, okay. So on the app, I just turned it off, whatever. So I had my sleep interrupted several times. So I'm a little exhausted.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should wrap this up then.
Yeah. I mean, shit. As soon as you leave, I'm going to bed. I get up at 5:50. So
Ugh.
yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have
We have one more beer.
oh, we have one beer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll go to sleep.
It'll help put you to sleep.
Yeah.
You need a
Hey,
bottle to go to
man.
bed.
I'm glad that you are taking this vacation, sir.
Hell yeah, so I am. So am I.
So I am. I mean, I ain't gonna tell you, take plenty of pictures. Document some shit, man.
Dude, I told Christy, like, I'm usually the guy that like likes to take pictures of everything. I've always been like the photo guy whenever we do hangouts and things like that.
Mhm.
I used to be that guy.
Mhm.
Then I turned into, nah, man, I want to live in the moment. Like, I want to enjoy it. I want to be able to like just sit back. But I was like, we're going to Hawaii. Like, I know it's not going to be the last time we ever go. We're going to go again. I already have like the itinerary that I was planning for these 10 days that we're going to be gone.
Mm.
There's too much to do there. Like, there's just no way we're going to squeeze it all in. So I'm like, we're going to go back.
Yeah,
But
just be easy. Get in get in what makes it work, what makes you happy.
yeah,
And then and you're gonna have a feel for it because you've already been. You can schedule it again.
I told her I'm gonna like just expect like the GoPro or my cell phone to be in your face a good majority of the time
Yeah.
because I'm just gonna be videotaping a lot of it, and then
Yeah.
I'll be able to bring a lot of footage back home where I
Mhm.
can edit it all into one video. That'll be our memory.
Sir, are you gonna do a live
Live?
Instagram?
I should. Where should I do it from? Let me think.
I don't
Yeah.
care. Do it from the hotel room while you drunk. Let's talk. I will log on.
The plan, I actually have. I figured out the entire itinerary, and then I was like,
Yeah.
something's missing.
And you also promised us a live stream this week. You didn't do it.
Because I was gonna do it today.
I
I
know.
was gonna go for a run. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. No. Sometime at some point this week, I will do it. Maybe I'll do it from there. Actually,
Do it from there.
I want to go for a run while I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
The what do you call it?
Was it, you can call it Run with Edgar?
No, but that's pretty good. I'm just kidding. I wasn't gonna do it. No, not that. um, yeah, I mean the whole itinerary that I planned out and everything. I was like, something's missing. I decided I was gonna like add a brewery to the end of every single day. So I need to build. I'm gonna build a T-shirt collection of like breweries in Hawaii,
Hmm. How
and
many
just try
breweries
all
can
the
they
beers.
have?
Yeah, I mean it's Oahu. They're gonna have like Oahu Brewing Company, Waikiki Brewing Company. There's a bunch of breweries out there I didn't know
Really?
about.
I know that.
None of them are like crazy famous or anything, except
Mm.
for like Maui Brewing Company. We're gonna go there with
Hey,
Garrett and
you better
Joanne.
tell everybody about the Wukai podcast in Hawaii so we can get some
Like,
Hawaii listeners.
man, you guys ever heard of this podcast called
Yeah,
Wukai Podcast?
yeah, yeah,
You guys should
yeah,
listen to it. It's kind of
yeah.
interesting.
Hmm. I think so, sir. And
We'll
then we
see.
start seeing some Hawaii numbers. We need it. We need it. And be like, look, you on Instagram right now? Look at our audience.
Yeah.
And all 9 of you gonna log on. Oh man. No, man. Have a good time, brother.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Man, and we'll see you when you get back, and then we'll have to it'll be time to jump on again and
We'll do
the
if
following
nothing
week.
interesting happens, it'll just be the Hawaii recap.
I'm sure. And I mean, hey, if something happens, you get stuck in Hawaii forever, you fall into a volcano or something, then
Wouldn't be the worst thing to
it'll
happen.
just be Minutes with Raw from here on out. Y'all just stuck with me.
Minutes with Raw. Ongoing.
No more Wukai, Minutes with Raw. You would just
pour one
know
out
I
for
will
me.
never continue the show without you.
Just pour one out for me.
Man, I'm gonna drink it for you.
I would never waste alcohol like that.
Can't waste alcohol. I'm like, Edgar wouldn't want me to waste his
This is
beer.
true. This is true. If I die, nobody better pour one
Don't
out for
pour
me.
shit out.
Pour it into your neighbor's mouth.
Whoa, that is assault. Can't do it.
With consent, please.
With consent. But do you consent? Sign this waiver.
Yeah.
Open your mouth. Yeah. Anyway, man, this has been fun as always.
Yes, sir.
You know what, guys? I'm fucking tired. I'm not doing the usual.
I'll do it. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. If you guys have any show topics or ideas, send it in to wukaipodcast@gmail.com.
He's been listening.
Until next time, be safe.
What?
No, you can still do that part.
No, you do it this. You do it today. I like this. This feels good.
No, you got it. You got it.
Guys, like, subscribe. What are you doing? Don't be that guy. You know the usual spiel.
Do it all.
All right. Be safe. Be kind. And if you got a VHS player, rewind. And live a little bit.
VHS. What? Thanks, guys.